so I'm gonna go ahead and start grouting the tile. He finished up, went all the way to the ceiling as you saw, and then once that's done, while that's drying, before I can put the sealant on it, once Jamal's finished with scraping off that paint off that cabinet, I'm gonna repaint that, as well as painting the one that we made. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. All right, so changed your mind. After I put the white on there, I really didn't like how it washed out the tile. I really like that look right there where you can see that it has that gray line, and Jamal pointed that out, and so we're gonna figure out how to take this one little area I did off and then get some gray grout and grout the rest with that. So that's what the good thing about doing it yourself. All right, let's try this again with gray.
All right, so the wife did a really good job on getting almost all this tile done. We did run out of the grout on this section right here. As you can see, it goes from a nice contrast, the gray and the white, to white, and then back to gray. So this little section here, we've got to go ahead and get done. We had to buy a whole new of the bucket of the grout so that we can finish. Just one of those small size containers. It's only like 1 quart. So one quart almost did this whole wall. But we had to get him another one just to finish up that last little bit. So hopefully we'll find another use for some of the extra grout that we have, and go so it doesn't go to waste. But let me go ahead and get started and go from there. Alright, so we're all done with the tile and the grout here in the kitchen. We finished that last little section there. Now we're only having to wait till tomorrow for after all that last section to dry so that we can go over with some sealer. And then when that's done, I'm gonna go back up there and drill some holes in the tile because we have shelves to hang. So we're doing some floating shelf kind of design here in the kitchen. Some of it will be for decoration, and then some will be for more functionality here with cups and plates and stuff like that we're going to use that are kind of like a visual display. One thing I did forget all about doing this, the tile in the bathroom, I completely forgot about it till just today. Once you grout, you see us use a sponge. Do that all the time because that kind of helps smooth the grout out. Kind of gets a nice little groove inside there with the between the tiles. But as you might have seen in the video today from earlier, is that some of the residue from the grout and the sponge and the water mix, and it kind of leaves little trails, little streaks, and you kind of spend a lot of time trying to wipe those up, but they keep coming back because of the moisture and the little bit of water that's left in the sponge. As you can see here in the bucket, how white that is. That was just from that little section that I did here a little while ago. So normally what you do is you go in and go over through that, and then what you do afterward, we use a towel the other day, which is fine, but I would prefer to have done was use a microfiber cloth, which I completely forgot about until now. So you use that to kind of finish up the look. It gets all the residue, wipes it dry and clean, as well as get that residue off the tile themselves so that you don't have to go back and clean that. When I did the bathroom earlier months ago, probably almost a year ago, I had to go back and use a cloth and stuff to scrub off the residue that was left over from when we grouted that was showing up on the tile. You can kind of really see when the light hit it just right, you can see the residue. So I had to use back and clean it up later on. But using the microfiber cloth right afterward helps prevent that from happening, and I will remember to do that the next time we have some more tile to do in the house, as we do the floor and the entryway in the kitchen as well. So, but thanks for watching. Catch you guys later. All right. Okay. So, just got these put in place here for the hangers. We got another one going on. Put one centered in here. This is going to be for a shelf. The wife is, for the look, aesthetics, but it's also going to be like, some items that'll go up there, some more decorative, but usable items. Hopefully, it'll be going up there. We got the little toggles and the screws that go in there. We're drilling this out. It's actually a little bit more than a 3/8 and less than a half. I don't have that size drill bit, so I'm using a 3/8 to kind of go in there, bore it out a little bit, knock it in place so it's flush, then put the shelf, screw it in, get them all in there nice and tight, and that'll be up there. And then we'll be putting the shelves on top, which they get screwed in. So that's what we got going here, and let's go ahead and finish these last two. All right, let's go ahead and get this taped up. We don't want any water from a spray to drip into the outlet. A nice little line there, and get this covered up so that any little bit of water that drips down the wall doesn't go into the outlet and cause a short or anything like that. So let's get that nice tape. Cover that up. doesn't have to be best, it's just going to be a little bit of loose water dripping down. You saw on the first one. That's been good enough. So we use a smaller drill bit to kind of get it started. That helps when we put the larger bit in there to keep it placed so it's not jumping around. So you could even went smaller than that. It actually makes it easier when you're drilling to use a smaller bit, especially when you're going into hard things like metal, wood, tile that are thick, or you're gonna have to do them all. Especially when you're doing metal, and this tile here really works for it. So you put the smaller bit, get you a nice hole. It also creates an indentation for the tip of the larger bit to go, and that actually saves your drill bits. They last longer, and it actually cuts down on your drill time by stepping up your bits as you go along. A little bit of water to keep the heat down. That also prolongs the life of your drill bit, as well as protect your surfaces from too much heat. Now, like I said, this hole is just slightly smaller than the holders that we're putting, the spacer we're putting in there. So I'm going to kind of go around to kind of make the hole larger. So now that we got this here nose in place, we're going to go ahead and get the shelf bracket put in place and get it screwed in, and we'll go from there. Switch out a bit here. Give those a little tap to make sure that your little plastic pieces are flush with the wall and not sticking out. Now we can just screw this in. And there we go. We don't want to over tighten it, but we want it nice and snug enough, so we can put the shelf on there. Now I'm going to go ahead and measure out and get this middle one in place.